Hey there, everybody, and welcome to OutKick Bets, the show on this Tuesday. I am Kayla Kinnear, I'm your host. Joining me is my co-host and buddy, Arky Shea, over there in Alabama. Arky, how's your Tuesday, my friend?
What it is, girl. I still got snow on the ground. I'm pretty excited. I did not use all of it for a snowman or a snowball fight. There's still a little bit to get, so my New Year's been great. Had a great night of betting last night. I'm excited to keep it going for 2022 on day 4 of 2022.
You didn't build a snowman? I'm so disappointed.
Well, I didn't use all the snow for the snowman.
Okay.
There's still some in the shaded areas for like little bitty snowmen if I want.
Okay, that's fair. I'm jealous. I want to play in the snow. There's not any here in California. Or Southern California, should I say. All right, you said you had a great night of betting, and you did. So we're going to get to a bet last night, starting with that Monday Night Football game. Big Ben got it done, winning his last game at home, 26-14, and it was emotional. Whether you love him or hate him, this is cool stuff to see, and I was so happy for him. Roethlisberger finished the night going 24-46 for 123 yards and 1 touchdown. By the way, Baker Mayfield finished the night going 16 of 38 for 185 yards and 2 touchdowns. But now back to the Steelers. With their win, they are still in the playoff race, and most importantly, Arky, our bets did hit, as we mentioned. So what were your thoughts on this Monday Nighter?
Well, if you want a great quarterback play, that was not the game to watch.
No.
Big Ben went 46 pass attempts for 123 yards. That's borderline impossible. Okay, that is really, really hard to do. And Baker Mayfield was no great shakes of himself last night. I'm surprised they started Baker Mayfield. I'm surprised they brought him back out in the second half, even though they did get within one possession there late in the third quarter, early in the fourth. That dude's broken, man. You got to give him some time to heal. There was nothing really to play for but some pride, and I get the pride, but this dude could be your franchise quarterback going forward. He's on the hook for at least another year, so I'm surprised there. But Big Ben does get us our bet, the -2.5, and he did give me the first half under 21.5 in that game too. But you could tell, like, it clearly was the end of Big Ben's run in Pittsburgh. He flirted with it earlier in the week, and you saw with all the tears in his eyes and all the camera shots of all the signs saying goodbye to him that it was it. That was going to be his last game at Heinz Field as a Pittsburgh Steeler, and you don't get to see a lot of those like moments where it gets to be ceremonial. Plus, the Steelers get a pick at the end of the game, so he gets to have the final kneel down.
Yep.
That was kind of cool too. So it kind of sort of worked out for Big Ben to sort of have that ceremonial send-off, and it was kind of heartwarming to see for a guy who's been so integral to Pittsburgh's success for such a long time.
It's the end of an era.
Yeah.
It was cool to
It really
see that
is.
wrapped up with a nice bow for his last one at home. We also want to touch on that college basketball game that we mentioned yesterday. Number 23 Wisconsin upsetting number 3 Purdue 74-69 on the road. The first time the Badgers have taken down Purdue since 2014. I was fully prepared for Purdue to win this one. I did think Wisconsin was going to play them close, which is why I took them at +13, so that outcome was even better. I believe on yesterday's show, Arky, I said that Purdue would need to shut down Johnny Davis at all costs because that dude can ball. And they did not. Davis went off, scoring a career high of 37 points and nabbed 14 rebounds in an epic night for Wisconsin basketball. Not only that, but he, in the process, he became the first D1 player to lead the team in all 5 categories on the road against a top 5 team since Tim Duncan did it back in 1997. Casual. Arky, what were your thoughts on this one?
Listen, I didn't think that Wisconsin had it in them. They shot 8% from 3 in the first half, and they still led by 5 points. And Purdue looked like about halfway through the second half they were going to come back, and they did take the lead. Looked like they were going to start pulling away from Wisconsin. But that Johnny Davis kid, man, like he's one of the top 3 players in the country easily right now. And I did not think he was that good. I thought he was really, really good, but he really put that team on his shoulders. It made me sort of reconsider how good Wisconsin can be if he's anywhere near that good the rest of the stretch for Wisconsin. So huge win for them. Didn't sort of think they had it in them to be able to muck it up there with Purdue, but they did. They did, and they get the big, huge Big Ten road win, and congratulations to them. I didn't believe in them, and you did, and you get the dub on the night.
I mean, I still thought Purdue was going to win. I just was hoping Wisconsin would make it a good game, and they made it an even better one by winning, so I'll take it.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to move on to our game of the day. Bowl season still going strong with the Texas Bowl. We're going to head over to college football, obviously. All of these lines are according to FanDuel Sportsbook. But before we get to the lines, Arky, the last bowl game that your girl danced in was the Texas Bowl in 2009, where we discussed this before the show. Navy won 35-13. I do believe we have a picture we're going to throw up on the screen of my glory days at Mizzou as a Golden Girl. It wasn't a great outcome for my team, but...
Wow. Wow. 2009. The Texas Bowl, really?
The Texas Bowl, I know.
That's cool.
All of Mizzou's bowl games were in Texas when I was in college. Every one of them. We had the Sun Bowl, the Cotton Bowl. What's the one in Alamo? The Alamo Bowl?
The Alamo Bowl, that's right.
And the Texas Bowl.
Yeah. Wow,
So,
that's kind of neat, too. Well, what, do you miss those days?
I do. I can still do all my routines. We'll save that for another day.
Okay. We're definitely going to save that.
All right, but yes, better late than never. The Texas Bowl is here. Welcome to bowl season. SEC versus Big 12. The LSU Tigers, who are 6-6, will take on Kansas State Wildcats, who are 7-5. This line has moved a couple of times, including this morning, where Kansas State is favored by 7 points as it stands, with a total sitting at 47.5. LSU will be coming into this one off back-to-back wins against ULM, and of course that big one over number 15, Texas A&M, all the way back on November 27th. Kansas State, meanwhile, lost their last two of the season to number 11 Baylor and Texas. What I can tell you right now is I definitely won't be taking the over due to the quarterback situation going on within LSU, which we will get to in a second. But the fact that the Wildcats didn't even get to 300 offensive yards in their last 3 games is also surprising. But Arky, how are you going to be playing this Texas Bowl tonight?
Oh, God. First of all, it's a gross game. It's gross because Kansas State is not a high-powered offensive team. They're a strong defensive team, and that's how they sort of keep in most of their games and win a bunch of games to be able to get to this bowl. By the way, there should not be a bowl other than the national championship happening right now. It reminded me a few years ago when, I think the Mobile Bowl, the GMAC Mobile Bowl was like 4 days after the national championship. It was really weird. But LSU's in trouble. It was reported that they'll only have 39 scholarship players available for tonight's game. Now, you may think that's a bunch of players, but you're allowed to have 85 scholarship players. So, not so much. And it's injuries, it's transfers, it's people opting out. And that includes someone like a Garrett Nussmeier, who we thought was going to be the quarterback going into this game for LSU.
Yep.
But it looks like he's going to not play to reserve his redshirt year. Remember, in the NCAA, you can play up to 4 games in a season and then keep your redshirt if you only play 4 games. That changed a couple seasons ago. So there's a lot on the line, just as far as pride-wise with the LSU. But I don't know if they just don't have the guys. Like, at some point, the depth is really, really challenged by Kansas State because they are a very physical team. I can't see any way other than playing Kansas State in this game. Like, it's not meaningless. It's a big game for both these two teams. If this game gets played, we've seen a game get canceled just like 3 hours before kickoff this
Yes.
Postseason. If they play this game, I can't take any side but Kansas State. Like, it's just the more positive side to be able to take in this if I'm going to bet my money on it. And, of course, I am because I'm a degenerate like that. But I have to have play on this game, and I do. I can't bet LSU. I just can't.
I'm right there with you. And I always say that I take the SEC teams in bowl games, which I'm not going to do today. But really quickly, why is the Texas Bowl so much later? Because when I went back and looked at my pictures, I think it was like New Year's Eve day that we played because we celebrated New Year's on the bus ride back to Missouri. Yes, a bus ride from Houston, Texas to Columbia, Missouri.
Well, all of these games are owned by a certain 4-letter network, essentially. So they're trying to manage games against the NFL. They're trying to move them around to give people things still to watch. So these things are all fluid except for like 3 bowl games. Every day can sort of change. And they're going to give you a little bit of an appetizer after a Monday Night Football game before the national championship game. I agree. I don't think this game, I don't think after the semifinals there should be another game in any way other than the national championship game. But yeah, it's just one of those weird, like, these are made for TV games anyway.
Yeah, seems like a little bit of an afterthought, but
It is.
All right. I'll get straight to the point here. I like Kansas State in this one tonight. Here is why. LSU just has too many moving pieces right now, as you mentioned, all of this. First of all, they've got interim coach Brad Davis leading the way. who, by the way, will be staying on as the O-line coach under Brian Kelly. So at least he'll be on long term. And then you mentioned Arky, just 39 scholarship players. You have an absolute mess at quarterback between Max Johnson transferring, Miles Brennan, who left and came back but is recovering from an arm injury. From there, it's a toss-up between Tavion Falk and Matt O'Dowd. So what we can conclude from this is that I just don't have a lot of confidence in this LSU team. What I do like is K-State's running game and Deuce Vaughn, who finished 4th in the Big 12 in rushing yards at over 1,200 and 2nd in touchdowns at 15. Now taking a look at those trends, LSU went 5-7 against the spread this season and went 2-1 when going in as the 7-point underdogs. K-State finished 6-6 against the spread and went 1-1 when favored by 7 or more. So with that, I will be breaking my SEC rule tonight. And yes, Arky, I will be taking K-State at -7. Nothing against LSU, but your team just scares me a little right now and not in a good way. So gonna stay away from LSU.
Yeah, again, that's if they play. Right, like, so we'll see if they get a chance to play, but I'm with you.
All right. Moving on to our spotlight matchup, back for some college basketball. Good old SEC showdown. Number 13 Kentucky, who is 11-2 at number 21 LSU, who is 12-1. Apparently this is LSU day today on the show. Right now, LSU is favored in this one at -2.5 with a total at 139.5. Both teams coming in having won 4 of their last 5. With Kentucky coming off a win and looking for their 5th in a row, while LSU last took an L to Auburn. While neither team has beat a ranked team yet this season, so who is going to do it tonight? Arky, who do you like in this one?
This is easy for me. It's Kentucky. It's Kentucky. Kentucky, I told you before the start of the season, I thought they have special talent. I think they have Elite 8, Final 4 talent on this team, and they've played like it so far. In fact, not only have they played like it so far, they've really done so in their last 4 games. For the first time in a 4-game stretch, they've gone over 80 points in each of those games. They haven't done that since the 2017 season, which was a Sweet 16 season. And the fact they were 3 points away from going to the Elite 8 in that year. And that's because John Calipari loves them long, he loves them lean, and he loves those big dudes defensively. But he's also got a lot of talent everywhere. You got the top assist man I think the number 3 assist man in the country, and Severe Wheeler, who's averaging nearly 8 assists a game. You got Oscar Schwebe, who that's the guy over the break. We didn't get a chance to talk about it, but had 28 rebounds in a game. Like, he's the number 1 rebounder in the entire country. The best 3-point attempt shooter in the country is Kellen Grady. He is on this team, and he's shooting 50% from beyond the arc. That's really good, by the way. He's number 1 in the country at doing that, too. And this offense is rolling. And you can boo-hoo all the competition that you want. The High Point's not that great. Sorry, 2K, but Missouri's not that good either when they busted up Missouri. But
Our women's basketball team is.
Other than that one, yeah, that's a big win. But they don't get to play this Kentucky team right now. You could talk about Western Kentucky not being that good. And I get it, right? But they have not been rolling like this in a couple of seasons. And they have looked really, really, really good doing it. The bad thing is LSU, the only reason that they were undefeated was going into the Auburn game was that they had a favorable schedule, not a lot of world beaters on that schedule, and also defensively they're really, really, really good. They're number 1 in the country in steals per game. They're number 1 as far as points allowed per game. They're in the top 5 as far as field goal percentage. They can muck it up. And much like Wisconsin last night, that's the thing I worry about. If they can slow Kentucky down, if they can make these possessions harder, longer possessions, to make it more difficult and not allow transition points like Kentucky likes to do, then they got themselves a real shot. Plus, they got a little bit of an emotional thing going tonight, too. They're going to rename the court Dale Brown Court after the former LSU coach who, was the head coach during the Shaq years. So there's going to be a lot happening at the Pete Maravich Assembly Center tonight. But I don't think that there's any right way to look at this other than Kentucky to win outright. So I'm taking Kentucky money line. That's plus 106 on FanDuel right now. They are the much, much better team. Much better.
Again, right there with you. This will, though, be a test for both teams, as Kentucky is 1-0 in conference play, and LSU will look to avoid going 0-2 in the conference. Kentucky's biggest test, like you said, will be going up against this LSU defense, who is one of the top rated in the country and is holding their opponents to an average of 55.3 points per game. That's crazy. Meanwhile, the Wildcats are a top 10 team in offensive efficiency. And speaking of offense, stopping the force that is Kellen Grady should be something at the top of LSU's list of things to do in this game. The guy has hit 23 of his last 31 threes, including going 7 for 10 in their last game against High Point. Looking at the numbers, LSU has gone 11-2 against the spread so far this season, and it's also worth noting that when being favored by 2 or more, which has happened for them 12 times this season, they have covered in 10. Kentucky, meanwhile, is 8-5, and when going in at least the 2-point dogs, spit it out, Kayla, which was once this season, they did cover. LSU has combined for this total of 139.5 3 times, while Kentucky has hit it in 8 of their games this season. I know it's hard to win on the road, especially in college basketball, but nonetheless, I will also be riding with Kentucky, taking the spread in this one at plus 2.5 Arky.
I'm with you. This LSU team can't shoot. They're 282nd in the country in 3-point field goal percentage. There's only 350 teams. That's awful. That's awful. They can't shoot. I don't know. They're not good. They're not as good as they're. It's why, by the way, those who voted for AP poll waited so long to put them into the AP poll, even though they were undefeated to start the year. The competition's not good, and they're not nearly as good. We're down 18-1 to start the Auburn game. They're not that good.
It's hard to win games when you can't put up points.
That is a fair point, 2K. I like it.
Hashtag sports. All right, moving on to our quick hitters of the day. Where are you looking for your quick hitter, Arky?
I'm going Big 12 action. Kansas at Oklahoma State. Kansas is a 6-point favorite coming into tonight on the road. And, sorry. You should probably sit this one out, 2K. You do not.
I love the Big 12. I don't love Kansas.
You don't want Kansas talk at all. You don't.
No.
You hate Kansas. And that's fair. I get the rivalry. The rivalry there. This, to me, is about one of the other top 5 players in the country, and it's Ochai Agbaji, who we talked about at the beginning of the season, who is a tremendous guard for them, averaging 17 points a game. He's really, 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 really good. This Kansas team's got all the makings of themselves being able to make a Final Four. Hard to believe Blue Bloods are back in basketball, so to speak, but they are in the Kentucky case, and I think they definitely are in Kansas' case. This Kansas team is stacked also. And Oklahoma State is not so much. Oklahoma State is struggling against good teams. And they've had a few good teams on their schedule recently, like Oral Roberts, who we don't think of as a good team. That's nearly a 10-win team this season. And by the way, speaking of multiple 10-win teams in the conference, like Oral Roberts almost is, the Big 12 has 8 of their 10 teams as double-digit wins teams. That's a tough-ass conference right now. And that is by far the most in any conference so far this season. So I really love the grit and the tenacity of Kansas. I think their high-flying offense is really fun to watch. Their defense is so-so, but some of that's because that they are so quick and so up and down on offense as far as how fast their pace goes. So I like offense here again tonight on the road at Oklahoma State. I usually don't like a whole bunch of road dogs by this, but 6 points I don't think is enough for Kansas tonight. So give me the road favorite tonight, -6. I'm going Rock Chalk Jayhawk in Big 12 action.
I won't finish that part of the Mizzou chant. It's not appropriate. All right, well, for you, I hope your bet hits, but I hope Kansas loses.
Fair enough.
All right, I am going to be looking to the NBA, where the Kings, who are 16-22, 6-10 on the road, will visit the Lakers, who are 19-19, 12-10 at home. Right now, LA is the favorite at 6.5 with a total of 229.5. The Kings are currently on a 4-game road losing streak and will look to end that tonight against the Lakers. This will be the 3rd time these two teams have faced so far this season, in which they have split the series 1-1 up until now. Surprisingly, the Lakers are 1-5 in divisional matchups, while Sacramento is 4-5 in Pacific Division play. The Lakers, as of now, will be without leading scorer and rebounder Anthony Davis, as well as Kendrick Nunn, while LeBron and Avery Bradley remain day-to-day. The Kings' leading scorer, De'Aaron Fox, will be playing, averaging 20.3 points per game, and Buddy Hield adds to the offense, sinking around 3.6 threes per game. The Lakers are 15-22-1 against the spread this season, and the Kings are 16-21-1. The first time they played, it was a difference of 4 points. The second time, it was not. The Lakers won handedly, but I'm hoping for a close game, which is why I'm going to be taking the Kings tonight at plus 6.5, as risky as that is. Also, when I made this bet, I wasn't factoring in where Tristan Thompson's headspace will be after the drama that unfolded yesterday, Arky, if you might.
Oh, yeah.
You might have heard something about it.
I did, yeah. Didn't he, twist an ankle? Is that what happened?
Fathered another child, yes.
So what?
I doubt any Kardashians will be sitting courtside for this one, needless to say. This is totally me taking a chance because I absolutely think the Lakers will win. I just hope the Kings play them close, especially with Davis out. So give me the Kings -6.5. I don't feel super confident about it, but that is what I'm taking nonetheless. I think they'll end the road losing streak.
You're talking about a guy throwing away all of his money, just going to be having all these random child support payments to give out. Come on now.
It's a mess. Yeah, forever he said he wasn't the father. Paternity test came back that he was, and now he's like, yeah, I plan on raising our child amicably. Oh, okay. Do you?
I totally believe him. Yes.
All right.
He seems like a stand-up guy.
I have nothing else to say. I don't want to get myself in trouble. So we'll just move on. Our games to look out for. Arky, what are you looking out for?
How about this Sunday Night Football? The very last game of the regular season is the Chargers at the Raiders. Chargers are 3-point favorite for this. The total is 48.5. I didn't think I'd have a soccer play for you here, but we may be looking at it. Now the Big Ben and the Steelers have won. They have to beat the Ravens to have a shot to get into the playoffs. So that's an afternoon game.
Yep.
If they lose that game, the Chargers and Raiders could tie and both get into the playoffs. So if you want a little bit of a long shot play, maybe just go ahead and put a little money on the tie between the Chargers and the Raiders. I'm not even sure they would make them play overtime at that point. It'd be kind of wild to sort of see that. But that's only obviously if the Steelers were able to beat the Ravens this weekend. Outside of that, it's a pretty good matchup where that's basically a winner get in type game. And you don't often get to see those as the very last game of the season. Nice job of the NFL to flex this to the very last game of the season because all the stakes look like they're going to be on the line for that one. So I'm excited about that one. I think right now I sort of lean, honestly, with the Raiders to be able to cover that spread.
Okay.
But, I mean, they're much better than they should be, honestly, right now. And being able to be at home to end the season, that might be kind of a momentum play there. And I might like Derek Carr a little bit more than I should in a situation like that. Plus, it's talking rookie head coaches, near rookie quarterbacks. I'm not sure if I trust that. So I'll be paying attention to that line throughout the rest of the week because that one looks a little yummy.
Little yummy. I like that word.
Yeah.
Yummy, yummy, yum. Okay, no one came here to watch me sing. All right, I too am going to be looking at the NFL 49ers, who are 9-7, 5-3 on the road, taking on the Rams, 12-4, 5-2 at home. LA right now is the 5-point favorite with a total at 44.5. Don't look now, but the Rams are looking to pick up win number 6 in a row after hitting that 3-game losing streak midseason, while the 49ers have gone 3-2 in their last 5. The Rams still sit atop the NFC West and have punched their ticket to the playoffs, and the 49ers, who are currently in third in their division, are still in the hunt. For the 49ers to reach the playoffs for the second time in 3 years, they will either need to get a win over the Rams or have the Saints lose to the Falcons. Something we shouldn't ignore, though, is this weird power the 49ers have over the Rams. If you'll remember, the last time these two met in Week 10, the Niners cruised past the Rams 31-10 and have won their last 5 in this series. By the way, the underdog in this particular meeting is 5-0 against the spread. So when is Vegas going to learn? And adding to that, the under is 4-1, so also something to keep in mind. The biggest question mark in this game to me, though, is who will be starting at quarterback in San Francisco. Rookie quarterback Trey Lance picked up his second career start and got the dub last weekend against the Texans as Jimmy Garoppolo was out with that thumb injury. In that start, Lance, though, went 16 of 23 for 249 yards and 2 touchdowns in their 23-7 win. The team has not said who will be starting the game, but they better put their best thumb forward. Get it? If they want any chance against the Rams defense. I don't know what I'm doing today. All right, LA is 8-9 against the spread. The 49ers are 9-8. I'll blame it on cold medicine. This total has gone over in 13 of the Rams' 17 games, and the 49ers have reached it in 11 games. So, yeah, listen, for whatever reason, Kyle Shanahan loves embarrassing Sean McVay, and honestly, I'm here for it. Again, a lot depends on who will be playing quarterback for the 49ers, but from what recent history has showed us, I'm very tempted in taking San Francisco in this one at -5 or +5. So if Jimmy G is in, then I will especially want to take them in this on Sunday. So give me the 49ers if Jimmy G is in. Let's make it fun.
Okay, yeah. For me, let's find out. Have the thumbs going for Jimmy Garoppolo because let's face it, the Saints aren't that good anyway. There's a chance they're just going to lose to the Falcons because they aren't great, and they'll be able to back their way in. So let's keep an eye on that thumb.
Never underestimate the team who has more to play for too. That
is true. The Steelers showed that last night.
And for whatever reason, again, I don't know why the Rams just can't get a win over the 49ers. It's weird.
Listen, the Rams are weird. The Rams are a weird, good team. They're hard to love when you're trying to bet. Yeah.
I've said it all season. I can't figure out the Rams. They confuse me. But there they are in the playoffs. So, all right, we're going to recap our day. First off, our game of the day, that bowl game with Kansas State and LSU, the Texas Bowl. Arky and I are each taking Kansas State at -7. In our spotlight matchup, Arky is taking the Kentucky money line, while I am taking Kentucky +2.5 over LSU. And then in our quick hitters, Arky, to my dismay, is taking Kansas -6. I will be taking the Kings +6.5 over the Lakers. And that is going to do it for us today. Arky, any final thoughts?
I think we covered the state of Louisiana and Kansas pretty nicely today, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Seriously, this was a Big 12 SEC LSU, K-State, KU kind of day for us. All right. Well, maybe we'll be a little more diverse tomorrow. But don't forget to make your picks at FanDuel.com/OutKick. That is Arky Shea. I am Kayla Canarum. As always, best of luck in your betting, friends. And we will see you right back here tomorrow. Same time, same place. Have a good one.